This is the world famous 99X. I'm Barnes. That's Leslie over there in the traffic department. In his little box, that's Crash Clark. We have something for dog owners or even neighbors of dog owners that I did not know existed. This is freaking awesome. You're going to meet someone you should know really cool next.
Checking out some shows tonight, this weekend. All 99X concerts. You can find out more on the soundboard inside the 99X freeloader app. AFI at Masquerade tonight. Tomorrow night, The Cult at the Cobb Energy Center. Let's go over to Halloween night. My Morning Jacket at the Fox Theater. 2 nights, actually. Halloween and then November 1st. And then Of Monsters and Men at the Eastern, November 11th. Find out more on the soundboard inside the 99X freeloader app.
There's nothing worse than when you have a neighbor with a dog and they do their business when they go do the walk and they do it in your yard and they don't pick it up. I mean, I know a lot of people do pick it up, but you see a lot that don't. Well, you better watch where you poo these days. Please welcome our someone you should know, Jay Rettinger, who is with Poo Prints. This is DNA from that poo to identify the poopers, which is very interesting. Jay, welcome to the Morning X.
Hey, good morning. Thank y'all for having us.
Absolutely. Man, break this down. What inspired such a business?
Listen, I tell you, and we're excited to talk some shit this morning. Nobody likes dogs.
All right.
I apologize. You know, around here, it's not a bad word.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm fast on the finger.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll tell you a little bit of a story. BioPet Laboratories is our parent company. We've been in animal genetics for almost 20 years. And we had a scientist years ago living in an apartment complex, came in one day and said, look, there is dog shit everywhere. Excuse my language.
Okay,
and
I got you.
Said, we've got to come up with a solution to figure out who's leaving this. You know, let's see if we can pull DNA from it and tell whose it is. And sure enough, we started some R&D projects, which we will spare you those details. And we came up with Poo Prints, in 2009. And so we work with about 8,500 apartment communities across the U.S. on registering their pet population, mainly their dogs. They register their DNA. They get all kinds of benefits, health and traits and coupons for food and toys and everything. We want to reward good behavior. They get registered, but if they leave their poo on the ground and somebody sends it in to us, we pull DNA from it and we tell them who is the guilty poopertrator.
What? Poopertrator. I just got that.
They're the police, Leslie. They're the police.
I have to say, my dog might be in the system. Bo might be in the system because he's had his DNA done. So if he's already in the system, would he get a ticket if he pooped on somebody's yard?
But it's only apartments, right, for now?
Yeah, it's mainly apartments, HOAs. We work with dog parks. You have to be somewhere where they are a client of ours, Leslie. Now, the question is, are you a responsible pet owner?
Yeah, I always pick up the poo.
Then we got nothing to worry about.
But, I mean, does the dog have to be in the system is what I'm saying.
The dog has to be in the system. And so registration is key for us. And we work with all of our clients in our communities to make sure everybody gets registered. You do have some people that try and fall through the cracks, but that's where we don't want to be the poo police, and we wrap rewards into it. We're about education. We provide benefits. We reward good behavior.
Jay, just go with police. You don't need poo police. That's too redundant.
Police, yeah.
The police.
We may have formed a new company this morning.
Yeah, police. So it's mandatory, right? So if you're in these, you're in 8,000, over 8,000 communities, it's mandatory if you have a dog, you've got to hand over the DNA so you're in the system, correct?
Correct. You get a welcome kit. It's got a tag in there. It's got a swab that you use. So
love this.
Yeah. So as you get your keys to move into that new apartment, you've got to hand over your dog's DNA.
Okay, but for somebody who lives in a house like myself and my new fiance, what if I saw somebody that there's a notorious neighbor that's constantly leaving their poo on the lawn, can I take a sample of that, send it to you, get it registered, and then maybe have proof if I ever wanted to confront this neighbor?
You could. Now, we have historically stayed out of what we call neighborly disputes.
Yeah.
Because we have seen those go south really quickly.
Crash, would you actually mail poo? Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, we get about 400 turds in a box a day. Now, and it's not that bad. We actually have proprietary kits we use that way that it doesn't smell and things like that.
Of course. It's a great idea.
But we do work with neighborhoods. So we have a ton of HOAs where they have had too many neighbors that people have complained about. So they've implemented the program in that neighborhood.
We're talking to Jay Rettinger, who is with Poo Prints, and this is mandatory in over 8,000 apartment communities for now, coming to neighborhoods, I hope, soon. How large was this unmanaged pet waste problem, before you got involved? How big of a problem was it?
So in the apartment industry alone, in the multifamily industry alone, it was the number one complaint that property managers had to deal with. So they all joke that for years there's been the 3 Ps: poo, parking, and pools. Those are the 3 things they hear the complaints about the most. And it's a huge problem. You have neighbors getting in fights, pointing the finger at each other. And so let science and technology do the work. Nobody has to stay out there in the bushes and hide. You can just scoop it up in the morning when you find it, send it to us, and we'll tell you who it is.
If you find out who it is, then what happens?
Then at that point, so we send the results. It's an automated system. We send the results to that property manager, and they handle the fine or the violation with those residents.
Also, each apartment community sets up their own system of what do you know some examples of what they do to people? What are the penalties?
Yes, so the penalties, it's wild to watch how the penalties range. We've got some really nice buildings in Miami. First offense is $1,000.
Wow,
really?
First time.
Wow. Really?
First time can be $1,000. Now, you're talking, some of these places are really nice, but then you've got some places that they just charge, what the processing cost was. Some places, what we've seen over the past couple of years is the average fine is around $200 to $250.
Damn, that's a lot.
It's a lot of money. But a lot of people don't realize most states and counties have what they call scooper laws, which that is the minimum fine amount that exists at the state or county level. They just have had no way to enforce it.
Now, Jay, how about this? What if there are so many dogs in an apartment complex that are constantly pooping in the same area? How do you guard against cross-contamination with the sample?
That is our favorite question. So we are firm believers on making sure the science has the best quality. So what happens is, you can tell when you run a sample, 2 things. One, cross-contamination is tough. A lot of people think, hey, my dog marks his territory, pees on everything he walks by. Well, the good news is that most of the time the DNA we're looking for is not in urine. Now, a dog could lick a turd or eat a turd. I know some dogs that love to eat poo, right? If it eats it and spits it out, it could be cross-contaminated. But when we run DNA, you can tell if 2 profiles exist. And so what we do is we automatically fail those. There is no science in the world that can tell you who is the true source of that sample.
This is unbelievable. If there is an apartment community or a neighborhood who wants to get on your program, what do they need to do?
Listen, all they got to do, they can email us at info@pooprints.com, or they can just go out to pooprints.com and fill out a form. And we'll get them hooked up. We'll get them started. We can get them kits today.
Here come the Poo-Lease. Love this.
The Poo-Lease.
All right.
We're advocates. Yeah, I'll tell you this. The greatest thing about our program is we have opened up more housing for more pet owners. 10 years ago, if you owned a dog and you live, let's say in downtown Atlanta, beautiful area, a lot of high rises and buildings, they didn't want dogs because of the problems like poo and other things. Now, you can basically live anywhere you want with a pet.
This is impressive. All right, pooprints.com. That's Jay, someone you should know. Jay, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Jay.
Hey, thank you all. And remember, pick up your
You had to get one more in there. I got it, though. I got it. All right, this is 99X.
The United States Soccer Federation presents the U.S. Soccer Podcast.
Searching for an inside look at the people, stories, and passion that fuel the state of soccer in America? Who's going to be the key man for the U.S. men's national team?
First and foremost, they need to win.
There's something so fun about being the underdog.
You're playing with house money almost.
But what does this success mean for the future of U.S. soccer?
Ooh, you're getting deep now.
This is where soccer will come to life.
The U.S. Soccer Podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.